Welcome everyone to this second day of the workshop on a career in artificial intelligence. We are starting with the presentation. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so we have I think around 50 participants here. So we can start and others can join meanwhile. Okay. Okay, so I welcome you all on the second day of the workshop on a career in artificial intelligence conducted by AI-Shala Technologies Private Limited in association with Sri Hindu College of Engineering and Technology. In this second day, we will be seeing three parts of the presentation. So initially, we will be talking about how AI-Shala and you can actually uh, like work together and see how you can benefit from AI-Shala and how AI-Shala can provide you a few benefits. In the part two, we will see a potential career in artificial intelligence and what all paths are available and how is it that you can actually start learning AI concepts. In the third part, I will be talking about robotic learning using AI. I will just show this kind of robotic arm. How is it that you can actually train this and you can actually make it pick objects from the table. Okay, and then at the end we will be having a quiz, and the quiz winners will be receiving goodies from us. And so if you attend the quiz, if you have given the feedback, you will also be receiving the certificate on attendance. Okay, so before going with the presentation, I would like to say about myself. I'm primarily working in computer vision and reinforcement learning. If you want to see my research profile, you can visit this link and find all my projects. I have 8 publications in top tier conferences and journals, including ICAPS and AMS, which are core A-star conferences. And I have received several travel grant awards from various organizations, including Microsoft and Google. I have also qualified national eligibility test with the significantly high percentile. And apart from it, I have received first prize in elevator pitch at Research Showcase 2015 at Reply Delhi. I have worked on industrial robots at Sony AI Lab, Tokyo. And I've also worked on perception module of Swarat, which is now named as Alive, which was an autonomous vehicle of Reply Delhi. And we have a large AI community in India where we share information regarding various aspects of AI. And if you want to join this community, you can follow this link and join any of the social media. So apart from it, we also have a startup named AI-Shala, where we are working on several projects, including virtual trial room and fashion analysis, fitness analytics, vision for blind, and these projects. You can also be a part of the community and AI-Shala. So if you are willing to work on these projects. So apart from it, why you should start with AI now, because so if you have AI skills, the possible gain that you will see in terms of the average salary. So if we see some statistics from pay scale, the average salary for skills in India is approximately 1.5 million. And if you see a comparison, so data scientist, the annual salary is around 1 million. like which is 10 lakh. For lead data scientists, it's around 20 million, sorry, 2 million, which is 20 lakh. And if we only talk about a common software engineer, it's around 6.3 lakh. Right, so that means like we can see that like it's like for a data scientist it's around like 1.5 times of the salary, and for lead data scientist it's around 3 times, more than 3 times of the salary. Okay, and it's way more than for the research scientists and others. So there is a lot of like gain that you will see if you have AI skills. Apart from it, like why is this a right time for starting with AI skill, is because like, so this is a like analysis from MRFR, and they have predicted that by 2024, like we will see around 1.5 times like increment in the like in the hardware, software, and services industry, like every year. Like, so we will see 1.5 times increment. Okay, so this thing is increasing at a larger pace. So you should you should start with it right now so that you can fill in the market demand. So, like at AI-Shala, what we have is like we have institute connects. Like we have connected with your institute, Sri Hindu College of Engineering and Technology, and we have several hiring partners. So, what we do is we train students at the institutes with the essential skills of AI, and we give them opportunity to be interviewed with our hiring partners so that they can get the direct placement. Okay, so apart from it, like we have a larger AI community where we are more than 15,000 on Quora. We have given lectures to more than 2,000 students, and we have a like WhatsApp community of more than 4,000 people, and we have 20 plus expert mentors which are working on several domains of artificial intelligence. So what we provide at AI Shala is that like we provide project mentorship where we have several projects, and you will be working on these projects, and one of our mentor will actually guide you regularly so that you can see how is it that you can actually like go in the right direction and finish the project in the time, in a specified time. Right, interview guidelines, it's not like we will only give you project mentorship or some lectures. Like we will also give you interview guidance, like how is it that you can actually prepare for the interviews, and actually like, like prepare and see how is it that you can actually like crack all the rounds of the interviews. Apart from it, like we have hiring partners, as I have said, like these are all over the globe, including like mostly are from Singapore and India, and so you can actually give interview to them if you have taken interview guidance and the training program from us. So these are all certificate programs, so it's not like you are spending a lot of time in completing a diploma or degree with us. So it's like a certificate program. In a few months you can finish it, and you can actually complete a project, and based on the performance of the project you can give interviews to our hiring partners or some other organizations. So entrepreneurship sessions are also provided. Let's say if you are if you are working on a project which you see that is solving a good problem, and that can be a potential startup. So we'll also provide you in entrepreneurship guidance where you can actually take your project idea to a good startup, and we will guide you through all the steps of from ideation to the market. So for the students, what we have in at AI-Shala is that like we provide regular seminars and workshops. So like what we are providing you today, and we have several training programs where we focus on the projects solely done by the students, and these are highly impactful for company interviews. So for example, let's say if you have completed a good project, like you will get chances to be having internships for the students. Like, so for example, let's say if you have internship in early BTech time, like, so for example in after second year or third year, then these are highly impactful if you are applying for full-time job interviews in the companies. So we'll also provide you mentorship and support for taking your idea to a successful startup. And we also provide you guidance for writing research papers. So these are highly impactful if you are planning to go for higher education. And apart from it, we also provide you placement preparations. So these are only for the students who have completed our training programs, one of our training program. And apart from it, we also provide you internship and job opportunities, like which are available with AI-Shala, its hiring partners, or like all over the globe. So if you are interested in getting those opportunities or notifications, you can follow us on this link. So the project that we are working on is, so one is blind assistance, where what we are like actually doing is we are creating a like visual system, like to assist a blind person. So for example, in identifying the objects, or like in identifying the navigable path. So for example, let's say there is a blind person. He is highly efficient in walking in metros where there is a dedicated path for the blind people, or from some known place. But let's say if the person is walking into your home or some other place, there may be a chance that like there is a non-navigable path like stairs, or there is some ramp. Okay, so if the system can notify the blind person, then he can avoid the potential injury. Apart from it, like we have the second project as the perception for autonomous vehicle, where let's say this is a segmented image of one of the scene. You must have seen it as like at various places. So how we are using this is to identify a near miss. So for example, can we actually identify whether the maneuver that you are making is will end in a collision or not? Okay, so whether it is safe or not. The third project that we are working on is the fashion analytics, where the family, we are working on virtual trial room, where what we have is like, so let's say if you have a cloth and the person, you can actually try on like in the system itself, so that you can save your time by actually putting the cloth on. Apart from it, like we are working on fitness analytics. We are using pose estimation for it. So what we are doing is we are identifying the kind of activity the person is doing, and this is what we can actually do with this. Okay, so this is how we are actually using. So for both of these projects, like we are also working on one other part, like anonymizing the activity. So or actually identifying 3D model of the person. So for this, like so let's say this is only the front view of the person. So we are creating a 3D model by which we can see like 360-degree view of the person, like how he is actually moving his body parts. Okay, like we also provide you free of cost job and internship opportunities, like notifications for it. So for example, like available like some, like for example, internships available at Netherlands, Europe. So this is the information that we are providing on our WhatsApp group, like so research scientist position, and we are also providing several other opportunities. These are all available in our Telegram group. If you are interested, you can actually join this group. So on this group, like you will receive notifications for jobs and internships, essential resources on AI, and what's happening in the field. Like so, for example, if someone has created something with the drone, or with something with the radar, or some other hardware, right? So how is it that you can see that? All these informations will be shared in the group. Like earlier we shared that like Microsoft created a system for pest attack prediction for agricultures, like in India, and like that is actually like very good project for most of you who are interested in working with the agriculture domain. So you should know how AI can actually help you in several domains. So that information is shared. So we have a Telegram group to receive all these notifications, and we are also available on other social medias which you can join in this. Okay, so this was all about the part one of the presentation. Now I will move to the part two of the presentation, where like I will be talking about a career in machine learning and AI. So So basically, like we have a collection of methods or algorithms which are used to make computers understand data without explicit programming. So these contain methods that enable machines to improve with experience. So for example, let's say if we are talking about machine learning and we are giving some kind of data, so the machine learning is actually giving you the better understanding of the data. So if I give you like a particular example, like so these algorithms actually help actually teach computers to understand the data, right? So for example, for images and video, we are like talking about computer vision tasks. So for example, understanding images and videos. For NLP, like natural language processing, we are actually talking about text and speech data, and machine learning is actually helping computers to understand text and speech data. So what can we do with AI? Like, so we can do advanced analytics, natural language processing, chatbots, and artificial neural networks. So these are some of the domains where AI is highly useful, and you can actually see how is it you can you can create chatbots, like use natural language processing for various applications, and advanced analytics and artificial neural networks. So how AI is impacting our life? So we have now seen that AI is coming to our day-to-day life. So for example, you all guys carry a smartphone. Like most of you guys carry a smartphone, and then there are various applications which are using AI to provide you some information. Like for example, you are using Facebook, it is actually collecting your image data and doing something. Like so you also have some face recognition to unlock your phone, right? So that is also that, like, so it has several sensors which are always monitoring how you are actually doing something. So for example, Healthify Me is actually tracking some of your eating habits by like whatever you enter in the app, and it is actually saying that like how much calories you are burning. There is another app, Steps at Go, which is only monitoring your steps from pedometer, and like it is telling you how much you are walking and how much you should walk. Okay, so these are there are various things that you can actually do using AI for better living. For security and surveillance, like so nowadays, like we have smart cameras which can automatically identify the motion, and if some unknown person is there. Instagram and other social media, like so LinkedIn and Facebook, so they are using AI at a great extent to actually recommend you content, and also like process your content to for more information. Navigation, Google Maps is highly accurate nowadays by the data it has received over the time. E-commerce applications like Amazon and Flipkart, they are doing some recommendations to you using help of AI. Banking and finance sector, like actually identifying the frauds, like credit card frauds or loan frauds. Like so we can actually use the data and see whether a potential client is actually a fraud or not. Okay, autonomous vehicle, Tesla has entered India, and we have seen that like their autopilot is highly using AI, and for smart homes also, like we see the use of AI. So what kind of problems we actually solve in AI is that like we ask a few questions here. So let's say if we ask a question whether an input image contains a dog or a cat, right? So if we are asking for a category for like, we know that like it could be either a cat or a dog, right? So there are only two categories. So if we know the number of categories, but we don't know which category it is, so we can in that case, like we say that like we are using classification kind of algorithms. How much or what value? If we are asking for a particular value, so for example, how much will it rain tomorrow, right? Based on the parameters that we are seeing, the weather parameters that we are seeing today. So based on that, we are using regression algorithms. So is it weird? So from the data, if we are asking like is it looking weird? Okay, so for example, you have images of potatoes, okay, and you will see that like so there is a different kind of uh, uh, like potato or some other part is there, like which you say okay, yeah, I'm not sure like if it is a potato, is it weird? So in that case you will say that like anomaly detection, like is it following the like common behavior but other data points are following. that kind of problems we solve using anomaly detection. Can we group? So that is like actually like answered using clustering. Uh, Decision making, and when you don't have any data, so in that case we use reinforcement learning. So all of these four kind of algorithms can be classified as supervised and unsupervised, and reinforcement learning can be both supervised and unsupervised. Okay, so now I want to ask you a question. So if you if you guys have any query, like you can ask in the chat box, and I will take this regularly between like after a few minutes, so that we are on the same track as what I want to teach you. Okay, so if you guys feel any query, like please write in the chat box. I'm constantly looking at the chat box so that I can help you with the with the answers if you are looking for. Okay, so now I want to ask you a question. Like, so do you feel that AI is mathematical, and this is what stopping you from learning concepts? Like, so like let's say if you want to learn object detection, but you feel that okay, it's highly mathematical, and I don't want to go with it. Okay, so why I'm asking this question is because like by teaching several students, I came to know that like most of them are saying that like AI is highly mathematical, so it's very difficult and we don't want to start with it. So I would like to know your answer in the chat box. Okay, and if you guys can say something, uh, then I will be able to help you. Okay, so people are writing yes, it's mathematical and other things. So let me just say you, I will provide its answer later in the slides. Okay, maybe after an hour, and I will actually ask you, was it mathematical? I will give you some real demo, and that will say whether it's mathematical or not. So nowadays, what we are using is we are using deep learning, which automatically extract the features and do the classification. So for example, let's say if we are giving an input image of a car, okay, so how is it that we can actually teach computer whether it's a car or not a car, right? So we use deep learning nowadays, and it is actually giving output as whether the input is car or not a car. Okay, so now I will show you a few applications so that we can actually see how beneficial AI is in several domains, and then I will give you a real example. Okay, so before that, like let's just see about robotics, right? So in the showrooms, in the medical lab, in the like warehouses where we have a conveyor belt, or maybe some other places where like we are handling delicate items like fruits and vegetables. So in this thing, like so you are seeing a robotic like industrial robot, robotic arm or navigation robots, and the other part of this is like a software as a service model, like where you have written a software for it, and it is actually doing pick and place or manipulating some objects based on this software. Another example is in the textile industry, right? So here also like we can actually, so these workers are highly efficient but not as fast as a robot. So let's say if we can place a robot here, like he can do this folding like very easily and can replace the humans. Similarly, in the semiconductor industry or manufacturing industry, for the assembly of ICs, so we can use a robotic arm. And what we have observed is that one robot can do the work of 200 employees. Okay, so this is how efficient a robot is, and like this can actually save your time and money to actually do the manufacturing and other things. So in the food preparation, so like here in the previous examples, what we have seen is like people were like handling items which are not delicate, right? So these are like in the food industry, the food is highly delicate. Let's say if you pick it with a great force, the food item will crush, right? So you need to handle it very gently so that it will not damage itself and it can be served. Okay, so that is also one potential aspect of AI. Why I'm giving you these examples, because I will be telling you about robotic arms and those things. So how is it that you can actually train the robotic arm? Okay, so now AI in real life. So what like we can actually do? Let's say this is India Gate in Delhi, where like people are going for their picnic and other things. So like law enforcement is highly worried to actually identify potential criminals. So if we can actually ask the AI system like what these guys are doing, like, can we actually identify that kind of thing? Okay, so maybe like detecting them and identifying their behavior. Are they doing some anomalous which should not be done? Okay, so this is highly beneficial for the law enforcement. In the biomedical image analysis, for example, we can use segmentation to actually identify brain tumors from the MRI scans of brain to see like whether there is a part of the brain which is not like in the normal shape. Similarly, for the malaria infections from the cell image, microscopic cell images to identify some immature growth of the cells to see whether the person has malaria or not. So AI in real life, what we can actually do is like for blind people, like we are also working on one of this project where what we are doing is we are like what we can do is we can actually create a system to actually help the blind person read or navigate. Okay, so this is one example where I just want to show you this video. This is Sachin and he's giving a demo of his Ferrari which is doing some autonomous parking. Just see. I hope I'm not sitting next to Mr. India. We're going to try and park the car here. My first driverless parking car. He's saying his first driverless parking car and just see, right? Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, see the steering. That's amazing. Incredible. It's going to stop on its own. I hope so. Okay, so let's see, right? It stopped its own in its own, and this is a very crazy thing now. Autonomous driving are coming into our future. I think in the future we will be having some exposure of driverless cars. Another application is face recognition, where you can recognize the faces which are entering in the building to say whether they are permitted to enter or not. Fitness tech, so for example, using pose estimation to identify the activities that person is doing and making fun with the images, the applications like Instagram, TikTok, I think it's in TikTok, and Takatak. There are various applications. I'm not aware about this. So what we can do is we actually play with the faces and actually do something, right? So, for example, here what I have done is this is George Clooney, and I have actually applied lipstick on his face, right? And apart from it, you can actually do face swap. You can actually merge someone else's face with your face and see how things are actually coming. So these are for fun applications and just to create. I think most of these applications are making short videos as memes, and they are just making fun of it, right? So this is a very large application here. Apart from it, so for example, using AI in the warehouses, to count various materials, so for example, woods, pipes, and bricks. Right, so a person will take a lot of time, but the AI can actually do it at a very fast pace, right? So there are 84, right? So a human will take a lot of time to actually count that. Future of delivery, like drone based delivery by Amazon. This is one demo video from Amazon, I guess. So, and they can actually deliver the item at your place and can also take the payment, right? So this is how it is working. And also for the people who are working in the design industry and who are creating posters, if they are seeing that this is not, AI is not for them, AI is for everyone, just see, right? So if you are creating some poster, right, you will take a lot of time in designing, but just see, right, this guy in just 3 clicks he made a poster. By clicking the real world objects with the object detection, he just placed the or detected object in the poster, right? So this is how easy it is. In a few seconds, he created the poster. The 3D structure of humans, I have already shown you when I was talking about our projects. Fitness activity detection, where we are detecting the kind of activity the person is doing, how much calories the person is burning by the activity that they are doing. Okay. Virtual trial room, like actually like using a web application to try different clothes instead of actually putting it on your body. Okay, so if you guys are thinking that AI is limited to these applications only, I just want to show you that in the barber shop also you can actually use AI, where the researchers have also shown that we can do hairstyle classification and virtual hair editing. So as you have seen, virtual trial room for clothes, you can also have virtual trial room for the hairs as well. Like, so for example, they have done hairstyle classification, and for this, like you using this, what you can do is you can synthesize your own image with the different hairstyles, right? Hairstyle trial on. So if you are going to the barber shop, instead of just seeing the pic of some actor, okay, so this is the hairstyle, okay, he's looking good in that hairstyle, but how that hairstyle will look on you, you can actually synthesize that image and see, okay, how that hairstyle will look on you. Okay, so and then you can pick that kind of hairstyle. For example, let's say this is a lady, and like whether she wants to pick this hairstyle or this hairstyle, right? So these kind of things can be done. For the Netflix, like everything is a recommendation. Over 80% of what you are seeing in the Netflix are recommendations which are driven by machine learning algorithm, right? So I like, you are not only watching the movies on Netflix, like, so it is using machine learning at a larger extent, right? So they are one of the companies which are using machine learning, and this is their primary business. Like machine learning is giving them the primary business. The robotic, like, so see, right? So how you can actually make a robot to walk stably. So this is you can do is using help of AI, and AI in daily life, like for smart home applications. As I have given you example earlier as well, like in smart home, you can use AI. Power usage analysis is also one application of smart home, where what like nowadays what companies are doing is they are installing smart meter at your home, and they are actually analyzing how much you are actually how much each appliance is consuming the electricity, and like they are creating a power usage profile for your home. Apart from it, like you can actually analyze power usage of different appliance and see whether an appliance is faulty or not. So this is a very potential applications. Many startups are actually working on this. Like Genetics is one startup from Tripartite Delhi who are working on it. Route prediction. So an Amazon guy is coming to your home, okay, and he's not actually like coming directly to your home. Like he's using Amazon is using an route prediction algorithm, which is suggesting that, okay, so you should follow this path so that you can reach these customers on time. Face detection, face recognition, various applications for what we say for security surveillance, and also for making some fun applications, as I've shown you earlier. Google Translate, like nowadays, like it's not only saying from English to Hindi, Hindi to English, or in Hindi to Tamil, Malayalam, or other languages. It's also like, so you, if you have written something on your what we say like on your notebook, and you actually want to detect what kind of language it is, and like how it will translate in English. So you can actually you can actually take a picture of the image, and you can translate it using Google Translate. Auto delivery date prediction, for this is one of the good application for women empowerment, where if we can actually identify the delivery date, or then we can actually save we can actually provide various health benefits to the woman. Robot chef. So nowadays, like I think after 5 years, you will start seeing that restaurants will have robotic arms in the restaurants, and there are many more applications. I have given several examples just to motivate you that AI is not limited to computer science or other domains. Like, so every domain, civil engineering, manufacturing, has seen use of AI. Okay. So now the question is, how is it that you can start a career in AI? Okay, so before that, like, let me just see if there are any queries. I'm just saying, okay, I asked a question that, like, some guys are saying that AI is not mathematical, some are saying that the AI is mathematical. Okay. Okay, so I think if there is any question, like, you can actually ask. I think I've not given any technical details yet, but soon I will be giving that. But if you have any queries, like, you can actually ask it. Okay. So major career paths that are available are, like, I have divided it into three directions. One is academic or research positions where you can actually do teaching or research, industry jobs, and the startups. Right. So in academic or research, what you can do is you can do teaching, like various courses like machine learning, mobile computing, cloud computing, or let's say if you are teaching physics, you can actually see how is it that you can use AI into it. If you are doing research, like, you can just divide your domain and just see uh, how is it that you can solve different problems in it. Like, the main thing in the research is that you should be curious enough, and you should know, you should be able to identify a problem and to actually split the problem into a small part so that you can actually solve one challenge at a time. In industry jobs, you can be data analysts, data scientists, machine learning engineer. You can become data governance, research scientist. There are various posts available in industry. In the startups, right, you can choose a software product as a direction, or software as a service as a direction, where in the product, like, which what you are doing is you are actually creating a product which solves a real problem in various domains like healthcare, education, or many more. In the software service, what we are doing is, like, you are creating a software which solves common problem which is available to everyone, and then you are giving that access to that software to all these people so that they can actually automate their daily tasks by getting insights from the data. So there are various domains like education, AI for social goods, agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, finance, women empowerment, assistive technology like elderly care and other things. So there are various domains. Like, so these are just a few examples. There are various others, and you can go in any of the domain. In roles in industries like engineering, where you handle the data and implement algorithms designed by data scientists or research scientists. And data science, you can actually do data analytics, data scientist kind of roles, where you design algorithms to understand the data. And business analytics, like, so you actually use AI or ML in a manner which have some business implications. So for example, if you're working at Flipkart, like, you actually so their customer data or customer sales data or other data, just to see if the insights that you are making can have some impact on the business. Research, you can push the boundaries of the field by new discoveries, and apart from it, you can also create a product. For example, it's not only about working on the coding. Like, so if you are a product lead or manager, you will handle all aspects of the project like business, tech, design. If you are leading a team which is working on AI, and if you don't know AI, it will be very difficult for you. So if you know AI and if you are in management, I think you will be able to create a lot of impact in the team by actually leading the team in that manner, and giving your suggestions to them. Skills required for academia, like, so teaching, like, so you first need to have interest in teaching and good knowledge of fundamentals, like, for example, programming, Python, Java, or R. Statistics, machine learning kind of courses you can teach. You can teach cloud computing, mobile application development. It's not limited to computer science. Like, if you are in physics, architecture, management, civil, you can actually see how AI can actually help the people in physics, architecture, and management, and how people are actually using AI in this field. Start thinking, the first thing is start thinking data and insights. For the research, like, so it's not only working on the algorithms, it's also about the data set. You don't have to work only on the algorithms, like, so you can actually see if there is a problem in the real world. Like, instead of working on the algorithm, you can also work on the data, right? So collect the data, pre-processing it, post-processing it, some doing some cleaning of it, right? So this is a lot of like, work. I know a startup in Noida which is having around 800 employees, which is only doing data collection and data annotation, right? So this is a lot of work. AI field, like, so you can work, you can do research or coding in vision, speech, NLP, planning, control, robotics. Like there are many fields, right? So you don't have to be limited to one. Others are like you can focus on a particular domain, like AI for medicine, women empowerment, education, farming. So for example, in farming, right? So you just see that this is a farming industry. How is it that you will use AI? You can actually see a rain advisory prediction, or maybe like a proper irrigation, or maybe a post pest attack prediction, or maybe like how is it that you can actually like predict the cultivation date, like these kind of things, like what Microsoft is doing. And there are a lot of things that you can do. So first is like you need to explore like what are the potentials that AI can do, so that you can actually target the domain. So to learn AI, like many people don't have these skills to work with the data. So first know the potential of AI and join an AI community. This is I think the one of the best thing you can do. Join the community. We also have a community. If you are interested in our community, you can join that. And the best thing is learn by doing, right? So it's not that like you will just watch the videos, or you will just read the books and you will get to know it. The best thing to learn AI is by doing it. Like, so for that, like what you can do is you can start independent projects, like for example from Kaggle competitions or other cloud platforms, and just pick a real world problem in any of the domain, healthcare, education, finance, and see how is it that you can actually solve it. Okay, you can also go for the internships at various startups or research institutes. And and also you can also opt for higher education like masters or PhD, and you will get an exposure to AI. Okay, so we are having several internships with AI-Shala and other hiring partners as well. So if you are interested, you can also apply to us, and we will see like how is it that you can actually start exploring a career in AI. Okay, so we are giving several resources in our AI community. Like, so for example, how is it that you can actually find tutorials for beginners in machine learning and AI? So you can follow this thing. Like, so this is from the Quora post. Okay, so like we are actually like sharing this kind of information. So if you are interested, you can join our AI community. Okay, so now I will be moving to third part of my talk, which is robotic arm training using reinforcement learning. And I think I will take another half an hour for it, and then we will be having a quiz and other things. So, like, if you guys have any query, maybe you can ask, or maybe we will take a 5 minute of break, and then we will start again. Okay, so maybe I think we will take a 2 minutes break, and then we will start again. Okay. I'm like, if I'm just waiting for a few questions, I think let me take a few questions, like how powerful is AI, right? Monica is asking it. Uh, okay. So you guys can type the questions. I think I'm seeing that people are typing the questions. You can type the questions, and then maybe I will see, right? Meanwhile, I'm answering Monica's question. Like, Monica is saying how powerful is AI? Basically, I have given you several examples in various domains, like from barber shop to like manufacturing industry. So you have seen like AI can actually solve problems in all of these domains. So in the manufacturing slide, I've shown that like one robot can do the task of 200 people, right? So that means like it's highly powerful, and it will do the particular task at a very fast pace, and with very high accuracy. Okay, so it's highly powerful, and it's not like that it will replace humans. It is just complementing human performance, right? So for example, let's say if I'm doing something which is taking me a lot of time, right? So let's say if I'm hiring students, okay, and if I get 100 resumes, I will take 2 3 days to actually shortlist all these resumes, and then I will interview the students. Instead of that, I can use an AI algorithm which will short the like these resumes in 10 minutes for me, right? So that means they are like I'm using AI at a very good pace. Apart from it, like, let me just see. I hope I have answered your question, Monica. And any other question that we have here? I'm not sure if we have. Okay, I think we don't have any other question. People are saying about mathematics, whether it is mathematical or not. Okay, so I will take this thing like afterwards. Okay, so Simnath is asking a question. Uh, so AI is created by humans, human intelligence. Can it outperform human intelligence? Yes, this is a very good question. So basically, there is a term called artificial general intelligence, where what we are actually trying to do is we are actually trying to create like a general AI which outperform human intelligence, right? Uh, so basically, like AI is like AI contains algorithm which are mimicking human intelligence only. So basically, I think just to answer your question, like, so to this date, we don't have algorithms which will outperform human intelligence. But yes, in daily tasks, AI is more powerful than humans. Like, so for example, if we are doing some repetitive task, and if we are comparing in terms of the speed and accuracy, then machines are powerful. But if we are talking about intelligence, then humans are powerful, right? So like in general, we can't say that AI will outperform human intelligence, but yes, it is powerful in terms of like the speed and accuracy, but not in terms of intelligence. I hope I have answered your question, Simanath. Any other question? If okay, so Karthik Reddy is asking what is deep learning in AI. Yesterday, Akshay took lecture on deep learning, right? Where he talked about object detection, convolution neural networks, generative adversarial networks, and he actually talked about a lot of things. So basically, like, just to say you the just to answer your question, like deep learning is nothing but a deep neural network, which takes data as input and like which gives you some output, right? So basically, like, this is one kind of machine learning algorithm which uses neural network. Okay, so this is one answer for your question. I hope I have answered your question, Karthik. So basically, like, if you Karthik, if you want to like know about deep learning, machine learning, maybe at the end I will be talking about a few programs which you can join and see how you can make use of AI, and then we can actually see how you can learn deep learning and machine learning. Okay, so someone is asking more applications of AI. Yeah, I have given many applications, but in this constrained time, I could not cover all the domains. But I have tried to like show you various domains, like which from our daily life to the manufacturing industry and the textile industry. Okay, but yeah, so if you have any particular domain, like anything, right? Whether if you are also talking about sewage, right? Like cleaning that sewage drain. So even in that case, like AI is highly useful. Okay, so there are various applications. Any other question if you guys have? Otherwise, I will move forward. Okay, Karthik is asking another question: how AI is efficient in future 2025? Okay, this is a very good question, Karthik. So basically, if you are saying like in 2025, just see today, right? Today, like it's 2022, and we have seen various applications which are coming in our day-to-day lives. By 2025, I would say that like AI will be highly powerful. You will start seeing it in your showrooms, restaurants. Like there will be robotic arms which are coming. Now humans will not serve you food. Robots will serve you food and other things, right? So you will see many more robotic arms. I think I'm not sure, like you. What do you mean by efficient here? Yes, efficiency is improving day by day. Like this is how you can actually go with it. Like so, this will surely be efficient then as compared to today, and the future is all of AI. I hope I've answered your question, Karthik. And apart from it, Lee Classic is asking, sir, difference between AI and ML and AI and DS. Okay, so AI is like, if I say that AI is one particular umbrella of everything, right? Where we are designing algorithms which mimic human intelligence. ML is a sub part of it, and like which contains algorithms which learn from the data. And data science is another subfield of AI. It has some overlap with ML as well, where in data science we are only having like mostly statistical models which only work with the data and we get some insights of it. Whereas in machine learning we have more sophisticated algorithms which like directly learn from the data, right? So this is the main difference. Okay, Nagapuri is asking, in neural networks uh, we are giving the information in the form of matrix, that is 100 cross 100, like this is the case subset code for neural networks. Like I disagree with some of this information, like some of the question, like it doesn't have to be a metric, right? It can be like various other things. If you are using a convolution neural network, it could be it needs to be a metric, but if you are using a fully connected network, it could be a vector as well. Okay, so I think if you learn about neural networks, then you will get to know more about like what will be the input of neural networks and other things. Okay, so I hope I have answered your question, Nagapuri. Please stay tuned with us. I think if you want to learn neural networks, you can actually see our programs and you can join these. Okay, next question is, I think I will take one or two more questions and then I will continue with my lecture and then I will come back with the questions. Okay, Tahrin is asking a question, how AI, machine learning and deep learning differ from each other. I have just given a difference. AI is the complete umbrella, machine learning is a subfield of it, and deep learning is a subfield of machine learning, where we are only using neural networks for actually learning from the data. Okay, and apart from it, I think Sri Lakshmi is having a question. Why we need to study artificial intelligence? Will artificial intelligence going to play major role in future? What will be the advantage and disadvantage of AI? Yes, why you need to study artificial intelligence is because this is the future, right? So in whatever industry, let's say if you are in computer science, in whatever industry you are, right? So you will be working in some sense, some kind of data science algorithm or AI algorithm. So this is the future. So that's why you should study artificial intelligence. Will artificial intelligence going to play a major role in the future? Yes. Uh, so everywhere you are going today, right? So you have started seeing smart systems. Now these are only the electronic devices. In the future, you will see that AI will be there in these devices, and like the major role that the AI will play is that like you will see it everywhere. Okay, so you should know it. So like I think the answer to this question as well is like this is the future. What will be the advantage and disadvantage of AI? Uh, Advantage and disadvantage, like disadvantage is that like so you need to have a separate hardware or some other thing here, like so it will not run in your mind. And I think advantages are I've tried to show through various applications from my slides. Okay, I think I will now go to the lecture and then I will come back to the questions again. Okay, so let me just continue with the third part of the presentation. It's 11 a.m. Maybe in 30 minutes I will try to wrap it up. Okay, with a demo, and then we will be having a quiz and like you will like get to know some other information about like about the workshop. Okay, so before going with anything, like let me just say you what is reinforcement learning and decision making. So basically, we have an agent or a robot here which takes action in the environment, and in response, the environment is returning some observation or the state we say or the rewards, right? So for example, the goal here of the agent is to learn to select those actions which maximize the total expected reward. So for example, let's say if I talk about a real example, let's say this is a dog, right? And this is a room. Okay, he's taking some actions, and if those actions is resulting in some reward, or let's say some perk in terms of maybe some food item. Okay, and if it is like so what the dog wants to do is it wants to take those actions which will give it maximum food. Okay, so this is the, I think, best example, like where the goal is to select those actions which will maximize the total expected reward. So this is how the dog and cat training also works. Like, so for example, if you want to teach a dog to say hello to you, right, you just say hello, and if it makes a hello, then you give it some perk or reward, right? And it will try to do that action again and again. So just to give you another example, in some formal sense, let's say there is an actor, or maybe a robotic arm, let's say in a Maruti Suzuki factory, where they are assembling different parts of an automobile. Okay, so what we do is, the robot, or the actor takes some actions, and like it will return the new state. So for example, let's say if it is installing the windshield, so the state will be like where the windshield installed, and then it will say, okay, how good that installation is, like, so this is the reward that it will give. Okay, so these are the things. So basically, agent lives in states, takes actions, gets rewards, and goal is to maximize the total reward. Okay, so this is how we are actually performing. So I've just given a vague example, like it's not like that robots in the manufacturing industry for assembling are working like so, some trial and error kind of thing. Like, so they actually train simulation, or they are using some sophisticated algorithms so that they can actually minimize the errors. So reward based learning. So for example, let's say there is a cat sitting, right? If it takes an action, and the new state will be like the cat is walking. Okay, so just to see like where if there is some reward. So for example, like if it sees some food here, like it will start walking towards that. Okay, so this is the reward based learning. Okay, so like yesterday, Akshay talked about neural networks in detail, where he showed convolutional neural networks and other things like adversarial generative adversarial networks, where he showed how is it that you can actually generate images. Sorry for it. Okay, and like so this is how this thing actually working. So for example, let's say if you have an environment. Okay, so this is pond. Okay, so where there is a pedal one side and there is a ball and the pedal other side, right? So what you do is you actually move this pedal up and down to actually hit the ball, so that it will not go to the back side. Okay, if it goes to the back side, you lose. If it goes to the back side of this agent, this will lose. Okay, so how is it that we can predict which action to take? So what we can do is we can give this image directly to the input to the hidden layers or the neural networks. I will tell you about this, and like the neural network will actually give you the probability of moving up or moving down. Okay, so this is how we actually use neural networks for action prediction. So where we actually directly like give image as an input or the observation to the neural network, and the neural network is also called as a policy or the actor, right? So the actor we are talking about, like, so in the previous slide we saw that the robot was an actor, but actually there is an algorithm in that which is using neural network, which is called as actor. Okay, so this is also called as policy. Okay, so I will give you another example of a chocolate cake. Like, so for example, I will give you a cake, and I will ask you to eat it. Okay, so this is one case. Simple, like you can eat and you ate it, right? Nothing, no work here. I just said you have everything. Second case is I will teach you how to make a cake. So what you will do is you will get the ingredients and cook it, and then you will eat it. So that means you did some work. Okay, but you had some exposure, like how you had some information how to make a cake. But what in the third case, I will increase more work. I will just say you I will just give you the taste of the cake. Okay, this is a taste of the cake, but I don't give you any information. What are the ingredients? From where to get the ingredients? How to make the cake? So this is a lot of work, right? So what you will do is the person will find how to get the ingredients and learn how to make the cake, and then he will make the cake, he will cook it, and he will eat it. Right? So there is a lot of work. So this is what reinforcement learning is. So that means you just know the goal. You just know that, like, so this is the taste I want to get, and you will actually do everything for it. Okay. So success of reinforcement learning is in every domain, like for example, gameplay, like where deep Q learning has shown its efficacy in playing Atari games. This was in 2014. AlphaGo came in 2016, and then AlphaZero came. And in the controls, like so for example, in robotics and intelligent systems, you see that there is a helicopter control for autonomous driving, drones. You are seeing a lot of things happening. And navigation, path planning, robot control, reinforcement learning is extensively used for wind turbine control. Like so, for example, the turbines that you see, right? How is it that you can make the control? Control here means that the actual like stability of the action. So, for example, if I'm talking about a helicopter, right? How much throttle or how much power to the motors should be given so that the helicopter will not will not loosely move. Okay, it should be stable. Okay, so this is basically control means the actions of the helicopter. For wind turbine control, like so it's the actions of the wind turbine, like how fast, like how is it that you can actually apply a few actions, right? So the turbine will move with the wind, but some other actions like maybe some how much power it should take from the device or from the how much output it should give. Like so, these are the kind of control. Smart grid, right? Learn to walk. I have given you an example earlier that there was a robot which was learning to walk, and it was like coming like that. Industrial automation, like for example, financial portfolio management. There are many banks which have started moving towards reinforcement learning to actually do some financial portfolio management. So, for example, what I will say is like what they are doing is they are actually seeing your portfolio, like how many shares you have or how many assets you have from the bank, and how is it that you can actually minimize the risk. Or let's say if you want to purchase a new shares, like how is it that you can minimize risk out of it. Inventory management, for example, in Amazon warehouse, what you have is how will you be managing the inventory, like what is the demand, what is the supply, and how much you should purchase more, and these are the things. Online advertisements, so for example, like so how is it that you can actually uh, like create these advertisements using reinforcement learning. And like fault detection, so for example, like if you have an appliance and if you want to identify the fault, right? So what reinforcement learning can do is just from the output reading of the appliance, it can say whether there is an anomaly or not. Okay, and then it will say that, okay, so whether that anomaly is from the some fault in the input or some other condition, or it is actually the fault of the appliance. Okay, so that you can take early action so that your appliance can be safe from the potential damage. Supply chain risk management, as I've said, like from the demand and supply, like you will just see, right, how the supply chain will be maintained, right? So let's say if you are giving a lot of item in the logistics, then like it will result in some loss. Okay, facility allocation and network optimization. These are a few potential applications in industries. Neuroscience, right? So for example, how I think most of you are asking questions in terms of like AI and success of AI. So if we see how human memory supports reward based learning. So for example, let's say if I can actually give you a model by which humans are actually learning. So for example, I have a water bottle, right? I'm thirsty, right? And if the water bottle is empty, and then I will figure out how to actually fill that water bottle, right? So for that case, like I will try to minimize all the actions so that I will get the motor at the earliest. Okay. Apart from it, let's say if I say you something like, so I have various sources, like, so for example, there is a tanker nearby, there is a like tap in my home or other things, right? So if I have several resources, how this reward based learning is actually supporting the human memory, how these things are actually captured in the human memory, so that we are learning that, okay, there is a tap in the home, there is a tanker, like where should I go? Okay, I should have some generator. It's not like that, okay, I'm thirsty and I will go to the tanker, but okay, there is a tap at my home, right? I will go to that. Okay, so human memory actually supports some reward based learning, and it has some intelligence aspect. So if we can actually model that, we can like create a good artificial intelligence system. Okay, so representation learning is another aspect where what we are doing is, so for example, let's say if I'm talking, let's say if I'm seeing my dog. Okay, I'm seeing that, okay, so it has some different characteristics. If I see another dog, okay, I can actually say that, okay, so this is okay, Labrador, this is German Shepherd. Okay, I can actually identify between the different breeds. Okay, so that means there is some representation of that dog coming in my mind, right? But how that representation is actually coming? If you ask a child to actually identify between different things, you can't actually say, because he doesn't have that kind of learning. But with the experience, he learns it. So that means that representation is actually embedded in the mind with the experience. So if we can actually identify how this representation is actually coming out in existence, then we can show you how like things are actually working. Okay, so this can be given to the AI system, and it will do a great things, and etc. Right? And there are many things that deep mind is doing in neuroscience to actually having like human intelligence. Okay, another example is this, like I think okay, so this is a video. Okay, this is not showing me a video. I'm not sure why. Okay, so anyway, so initially, like what I want to show is, like, so if you are teaching a robot to learn to walk, so we'll say that, okay, so this is the robot. Like initially, it will just go randomly, it will fall and other things. Like it is not able to stabilize its control. Right? Control means like it is giving some power to its motor, so that like how is it will actually move. Okay, later on, just see, right? The standing position is also not proper here. Apart from it, like after a few learning tries, just see that like standing position actually have balanced, and now afterwards, after like learning thousand trials, it has actually balanced itself. Okay, so that means, like, so using reinforcement learning, we can actually stabilize the control of any robot. Another is in the like RL is used in recommendation. So for example, RL, right, it is like some kind of decision making with the online data. So whatever you are watching, right, based on that like experiences, like it will do some artwork personalization for you. So for example, if you are watching more sci-fi videos, like it will show you more sci-fi recommendations, right? So this is how Netflix is actually doing recommendation for you. YouTube, right, top K recommendation videos, right? So it is also using RL for it. For example, jelly.com is using RL for to generate page of items based on user preferences. Facebook is also doing that, personalized notification to users and admins. Okay, so now how is it that you will be creating a robotic environment and simulation? So now this is what I wanted to talk about. Okay, before that, if you guys have any questions, you can ask in the chat box. Let me just see the chat box if you guys have any question. Okay, so Sri Lakshmi, why we, okay, I took that question. Okay, now the another question is was Vasam Siti Tarun Kumar. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Okay, sir, can we hear many news like even AI may be a harm in future? Then how good is proceeding with AI? I think AI is not a harm in the future. It's like it will be used to complement the human performance. So, for example, we can say that electricity may be a harm to the human, right? Because if you get a shock, like it will be very dangerous. The people may die. Okay, the same is, but AI is the same as electricity. Like if AI is dangerous, but it is highly useful, you need to be very careful for it. Okay, AI in that sense, like it's not that dangerous, but it's like helping humans to solve. Like for example, I have given you example of shortlisting the resumes, right? It is actually helping me, so that means it is complementing my performance, right? So in my view, AI will be very useful for humans in the future. It will not be harmful. Okay, another question is from Rahul, you are saying that AI is powerful. Is there any other side of AI? Uh, yeah, powerful is powerful, right? So yeah, the other side, you can say that like the generalization is the other side. So, for example, if I'm talking about object detection, right? Uh, so, if I give you some original images, if I give you, not give you, but give the AI system original images, it will detect the objects. But there is other side of the AI where researchers are actually focusing on the attacks on AI, right? So, for example, let's say your automated system have AI in it. Okay, so there is some hacker or some criminal who wants to actually hack that system. What it will do is it will hack the data. Okay, if the data is given wrong to the AI system, then it will behave in the wrong way. So the other side is that if there are attacks on the data, the system will start performing in other way. Okay, so now researchers are actually working on adversarial attacks, which will actually degrade the performance of the AI system. So this is the other side. Like we need to be very careful of the data, but researchers are working on this other side. I think they will be having good, robust AI systems. I hope I have answered your question, Rahul. This was a very good system. This was a very good question. Sorry. Okay, Monica is asking what are the main goals of AI. Okay, main goals of AI is to mimic human intelligence, like to do the task more intelligently than as what humans are actually doing. Okay, so Karthik is asking, sir, many sources are saying in future AI is the only scope for jobs. How do you explain? Yes, yes, Karthik, you are right. Like AI is the only scope for jobs in the future. So you should. This is the right time to start with AI. So how you explain your circumstances is that like I have given you several examples. So for example, let's say if you are, I think you are a developer, right? You are in computer science. You will write your code. Okay. So now in the future, with the help of AI, let's say if you are writing a sorting algorithm, right? Instead of writing your own logic, like now GitHub has given its AI system where what it does is like if you are writing sort, right? It will give you some recommend. Okay, so this is the sorting algorithm. Just put it in, right? So that means you are not writing your code. So you need to be very useful with AI, and like future, right? You will be working on the coding of like real world data. So just to like work with data, you need to know AI algorithms. So you need to know AI, so that you will do your job. Okay, so in the future, all the jobs will be based on AI. So you should know AI. That's what I can say, Karthik. I think I tried to answer your question in that way. Okay, Ganesh is asking, do data science required AI or machine learning? I'm not sure what do you mean here. Required. Data science is a part of AI, and it has some overlap with machine learning. Okay. Gauri Banda Shivani is asking, I think that there is no essential in developing in AI. I'm not sure, but do you mean no essential? But I can say that like AI is the future, so your jobs will be focused on AI. So if you don't learn AI, so you will see that okay, you have missed something in your BTech which you should have learned, so that you could have performed very well. Okay, Vandana is asking what is the main motto of AI. I have answered this question several times. What is the career options in AI? I have shown in my slides, Madam Priyanka, that there are There are various domains you can pick in industry, startups, teaching, research, right? Maybe go back to this video after this lecture, and then you will get to know like what I have shown in my slides. Another is like Nikita is asking, may I know how this AI can help in our full life, sir? I'm not sure. What do you mean by full life? I think you are asking about like uh, like various like aspects of it, like in the daily life, right? From, let's say, your wardrobe, right? So for example, let's say what kind of clothes you want to wear, right? So there is an app which can give you recommendation. Okay, so the weather is not good today, you have a meeting, okay, you should wear this t-shirt, okay, or this shirt. Okay, so this kind of things are coming actually. And for example, for health notifications, like there are many applications. So AI is coming to your daily life. I think this is what I could say from this question. Okay, Raju is saying yes. I want to learn both AI and ML. Okay, I will tell you about a few programs sometime. Like please stay tuned. So you mentioned about neuroscience. Okay, Kavya is asking, sir, you mentioned about neuroscience. Do we have an idea about on blue brain technique? I'm not sure what is blue brain technique. Basically, what we do in neuroscience in AI is that like we actually want to model human brain. If we actually know how human brain works, then we can create algorithms for it, and we can actually give it to AI system, and then this is how like we can actually work. Okay, Srinath is asking, sir, other than repetitive task, what are the other uses of AI? I think there are various applications. Like in neuroscience, I've given some examples. In the robotic control, I've given some examples. In the gameplay, I've given some examples, and apart from it, I have given examples for like blind assistance, medicine. Like these are the things, right? These are not repetitive tasks, but these are some other examples. Okay, another question. Okay, so I think I'm done with the questions. So if you guys have any other question, like please ask in the chat box. After some time, I will come again and will answer your questions. Okay, so now let me move to the robotic environment in the simulation. So this is a robotic arm created in PyBullet, where what we can do is we can teach this robotic arm to actually learn to pick objects and see how it can pick. So also there are many applications like in a warehouse, the in robotic arm need to pick objects and place it to some other location, right? So this is one application. The C, right? So table clearing, right? So there are a few objects placed on the table, and like the robotic arm is actually picking it and placing it some other side. Okay, C, right? So what I just want to show you here is that like, so this is just a like one setup where this is a robotic arm. It is actually like, so this is the top view, right? So this is what the robot is seeing, this is the depth image of the, and this is the segmented image. Okay, this is what we can actually take it. So what we need to do is we can actually take this image data or this depth data or this segmented data. Okay, so to learn a policy for the reinforcement learning system. Okay. Okay, so how is it that we can actually create an environment in PyBullet? So what we will be doing is, before going with the PyBullet, like let me just talk about Zim. Like so, OpenAI. I'm not sure if you guys are aware about OpenAI. This is one of the company by Elon Musk. What they do is they do a lot of things. So one of the things that they have done is they have created this Gym API where Gym library where you can find most of the algorithms for reinforcement learning. Okay, so for example, like what you will do is, let's say if you want to create this kind of environment, what you will do is you will just you will just do this thing, environment equals to gym.make. Okay, and then you will give the environment name. Okay, so and then this particular name will be the environment name, and this object will contain the environment which has everything. Like, so for example, let's say if you want to visualize the environment, what you will do is like you will just reset the environment to get the first observation. Okay, and then after that you will just repeat forever. And like, let's say if you are having an action using a model, and then you will just say that, okay, step the environment with this action, and then it will give you the observation, reward, and whether the episode is complete or not. Okay, and you can visualize the environment using environment.render. Okay, so if you want to create parallel environments, then you can use this make vec environment, and then you can specify the number of environments you can make. Okay, so this is how we will make an environment in Pybullet. Okay, so how this reward based learning is actually working with this environment is like, so let's say if you have a robotic arm and you want it to pick objects, right? So let's say if it is not doing anything, like you will give it a negative reward, right? So it's a negative reward. Let's say you just, I'm just want to show that this is a kind of coin. I guess a negative coin. Okay, if it starts to pick the object, you will give it a small reward with some money. If it is pick and like grab the object upward, you will give it as a very large reward. Okay. Okay, so like how the action prediction actually works in deep using deep learning is that, let's say you want to predict what will be the action of this car, like where it will go. It will go to the left, it will go to the straight, or it will go to the right, right, or maybe some other direction. So what you will do is you will just capture the image out of it. You will use a neural network convolution layers, okay, and the fully connected layers, and then the neural network will actually say that, okay, it is going towards the right. Okay, and then you will repeat it again and again so that you can actually like do this things again and again. Okay, so I've just given you an example. If you want to learn how to create this neural network and other things, I think I will give you some information. Like we can have some other program. I think we have limited time today. I'm already at 11:30, so maybe in 5 minutes I will try to finish it. Okay, so what we will do is to create a robotic arm. I will tell you a what we say, like we will be using a actor critic algorithm in reinforcement learning, where let's say this is the Pong algorithm, right? So where actor, like I've said, like it will tell them like what action to take. Like, so for example, it is saying that move down. Okay, so the critic will say that, okay, this is a bad action. Okay, so this is one kind of algorithm in reinforcement learning which says that like actor will say that, okay, what is the action, and the critic will say that this action is good or bad. Okay, so we use soft actor critic algorithm for training our policy. Okay, so how is it that we can use soft actor critic? So as I have given you an example, let's say we will create a pendulum environment, and we will import gym, we will use other libraries. I will give you a demo. I'm just showing you code in the slides. We'll create our environment first. Okay, so first task is to import and make the environment. Second task is to make the sec policy. Like, so for example, from stable baselines, this is another library which has all these algorithms, RL algorithms. We will create an algorithm with inventory policy and the environment, and just with the, we'll first make the stack object. Second, we will learn the policy using dot learn function, and then we will save the policy. And then the testing time, what we will do is we will first load the model, and then we will repeat the testing with the environment. And then, as I've shown in the like previous slide, it will happen like this. Okay, so now let me go to the demo. Okay, I will give you 1 minute break. If you guys have any questions, you can ask in the chat box. Maybe in the 1 minute, I will start with the demo. Okay. Okay, so I will now start with the demo. Let me share my screen for it. Okay, so like this is how I think you guys can see it, right? Yeah. Okay. So basically, what we will do is like I will give you an example. I will share this collab notebook with you. What we first need to do is, I think this RL baseline you can skip. We will first need to install stable baselines 3. So stable baselines 3 actually uses PyTorch for and it has several RL algorithms. Okay, you just install using this command pip install, and then like you will install PyBullet. PyBullet actually has the environments for your robotic arm, the KUKA robotic arm, and other things. Okay, and apart from it, like what you will be having is like, so we will use like say if you want to create a like a cart pole environment, like what we will be doing is we will be importing gym, and we will be like from stable baselines we will import another algorithm like PPO. I showed you in the slides that I will be using stack, but I'm just telling you the example, right? Other the algorithm I will tell you later on, and then we can actually use gym.make here. Okay, and then when you are actually you can load the policy PPO cart poll, and then you can test it on the environment that you want to test on. Okay, so this is how it actually works. Okay, let me just show you with the SEC. Okay, so let's say if you want to test it on the pendulum environment. So what you will be doing is from stable baselines you will import a SEC algorithm. You will make your environment gym.make. Okay, so this is how you are making the environment. Make the environment. Okay, and so then so this is how you train the policy. So you are making the SAC model, and then you just using model.learn, like you are actually learning like for 10,000 steps and so on. Okay, and then you will save the model, and then you will just test it on your environment. Okay. Okay, I just don't want to render it. Okay, so now let me just train it for okay, if I train it for 10,000 steps it will learn a good policy. I will just train it for 10 steps. Okay, and okay, let me also show here cumulative reward. Okay, so I will just do this thing. Sorry for it, it's taking time. So what I will do is for every episode, right, I will take actions from this model, and then I will step the environment, and then I will save the reward in this cumulative reward variable, and then when the episode is done I will just print the cumulative reward to you. Okay, and and then I will reinitialize the cumulative reward. Okay, so this is how we will go. I will just run it for 10 steps, or maybe let's just say for 100 steps. I think it will work. Okay, so this is how it is training. Okay, okay, so it has actually finished the 100 steps very early. Just see, right? After 100 steps, it is like doing nothing, right? It is like performing very worse. Okay, so let us just now stop it and see if we increase the number of steps. Okay, it is not stopping for some reason. If you guys have any query, ask in the chat box. I will take this. And I hope you guys can see my screen. If there is any query, please ask in the chat box. And very soon, I will also show it for you for what we say for the KUKA environment as well. Okay, I'm not sure why it is not actually working. Okay, it should stop it. Okay, no, I don't want to restart the runtime. Okay, so what I will do is now we will repeat it for let's say 1000 time steps, and just see, right, it is coming around minus 1300, minus 1500. Okay, so let me just run it for 2000. Okay, it should come, like, it will be in negative only because I'm not running it for larger duration, but like this is just training it. Now just see, right, it is taking time as compared to earlier, like when we ran it for 100 steps. Now it is running for 2000 steps. Now just see, right? Okay, so it has completed 699 updates, and the total time steps were 100. So it will run for 2000. Okay, so the mean reward is coming out to be minus 1400. Okay, so this is how the training is actually working. Okay, now it has completed around 1600 steps, and minus 1400 again. Okay, just see, right, it is like a little better than earlier, right? It was minus 1500 and other things, right? It is now around minus 1000. So if I run it for 10,000 steps, it will be more like better. Okay, okay, anyway, right, let me just stop it. So I think you got the how to make it work. Okay, so now like earlier we installed a PyBullet. So now what we will do is we want to create this robotic arm, right, as I showed you in the slide. So what we will be doing is we will be using this line like to import our environment from PyBullet environments.bullet. We will import KUKA diverse object environment. Okay, and then we will create our environment using this, where let's say we are creating an environment of which has a height of 256 and width of 256. Okay, okay, and then we will do the same thing. So now just see, right, if we actually want to okay, sorry, okay, this is the thing. Okay, we have created the environment, and now our environment has size of 256 cross 256 cross 3. If I just want to show you, like import sorry, from matplotlib, import pyplot as plt. Okay, plt dot okay, so I will just show, like, okay, this is important because like we want to like show the figure to you here. Okay, so now let's just say plt.imshow obs. Okay, this is the robotic environment it is coming out to be. Let me show you something here. Now let's say, okay, sorry. Okay, so now we will just see it, and I think I will do something like this. Sample. Okay, so I will just do something here, like, okay, I will tell you what all these things are doing, but I just want to show you this. Okay, so now instead of doing this, what we will do is we will show you plt.imshow. OBS, and we will plt dot wait for, let's say, 0.1 second. Okay. Now let us try to run it. Okay. This is how the robotic environment is actually working. The KUKA robotic environment. Okay. The box object has no. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Something is happening here. Sorry for it. Let me just see it here. Okay, so this is actually what I have actually created. Okay, this is taking some time. Oh, okay. I think you can't see my another collab, right? Just wait a minute. I'm sure. That's simple. Okay, it is working very slow for some reason. Sorry for it. I think this should work. Okay, if it will not work, I will join from some other device. It is like actually giving some error. So just wait a minute. I'm just looking into it. Okay, so basically, like, what I want to do here is like I'll just run it. Like I have reset my environment. Okay, and I'm just it again. So environment, I will sample a random action. Okay, I'll just see it like why it is not working, and then like the action that we are sampling, right? We will like give it to the sorry we will actually like give it to the environment dot step, and then it will return us the new observation, the reward, whether the episode is over or not. Then we will show it, and if the episode is over, we will reset the environment again, and we will continue with it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is right. Action space dot. Okay, I think this will not work for the KUKA environment. Okay, anyway, what we will do is we will let me just create a model, and then we will go with it. Okay. Okay, so we'll create a model for it. Okay. So environment dot sample is like not working with it. So we will actually use the model just to save our time. We'll work with it. Okay, replay buffer size it is. Okay, so buffer size is, let's say, 1,000, or maybe let's say 100, not more than that. Okay, so we'll just create it. Okay, so it will be model dot predict. Okay, so we'll just do that. We'll have a random action. We have not trained the model, but we will just use the random action and just see, right, how it comes out to be. Okay. Okay. Sorry for it. This actually returns two things. I actually put the star at some other location. Okay, now let us see. Right, just see, right, this is how our robot is actually working. So it has some objects. It is actually moving towards the object, and then it is doing some other thing, right? Okay, so just see, right, so I have actually placed many images here. Okay, so this is okay, so this is like, just see, right, the robot is actually picked the object. Okay, and it is going towards the object. It has picked it here. Okay, just see, right, going down, going down, going down, going down, going down, and then it has picked it, going down, going down, going down. Okay, it is doing actually something else. Okay, so this is how it is actually working. So I will stop it here. I have shown you how we can actually train the robotic arm. Okay, and now let me just move to my slides. Okay, I hope you guys got the demo, and it was useful for you. And if you guys have any query, please ask in the chat box. I will take it in a while. And now I'm just moving towards a few other things. So what we have seen in the deep reinforcement learning is that there are many open source libraries. So TensorFlow is there, PyTorch, Theano, Stable Baselines is there, RLib is there. For This is for actually RL. This is for these are for DL, deep learning, and there are many simulations environments are available so that you can actually test these. And these all are open source, right? So these all are open source libraries. Okay, apart from it, there are many machine learning techniques, like you are just writing a code the ML code as you are writing your own Python code. Okay, no sophisticated mathematics is there. It's neat code, less mathematics, and less chances of error in implementation, because you are using a pre-implementation library. Okay, so just to answer your earlier question whether it is mathematics, yes, it was a mathematical, but like in the code you are actually not working with the lot of mathematics. Okay, apart from it, the magnificence of our reinforcement learning is in like various domains, like for example electric motor control, and the finance. There is a portfolio allocation, risk management. I have given example earlier. Mechanical assembly, electronics may, like, so we have assembly of circuit board and other things. So there are various applications of reinforcement learning, and people are using it heavily nowadays. Okay, now what we will be having is, we will be having which start after 5 minutes, and it is total duration of is 15 minutes, and the winners of the quiz will receive AI-Shala swags or goodies. And if you have attended the quiz, we will mark you as for, and for all the attendees we will give you e-certificate on your email ID. Okay, so these swags, the goodies will be delivered to your college, Professor Mugundan, and you can collect from your college the goodies. Okay. Apart from it, like I would like to say about our programs. So what we have is we have a crash course on competitive programming and interview preparation, where we will give you all the benefits of data structures and algorithms, competitive programming preparation, interview case studies we will give from experts. There will be mock interviews, and we will give you 50% refund to the top 5% So it's like fees is around 7,000 rupees. The batch is starting on 6 weeks. Apart from it, like we also have advanced Python programming and game development like course, which is for 4 weeks, and like we'll tell you game development. There will be live lectures, live game development will be there, and there will be other things. Okay, the total fees is 8,000, and like apart from it, like what I want to say to you is that like we also have a machine learning and AI workshop. Okay, and the speakers are Akshay Agarwal, Apeksha, and Anil Sharma. Like, so they are like, so he's postdoc at University of Buffalo. She's a PhD from IIT Roorkee. He's a PhD at IIT Delhi. And like, what we will be talking about is like we will be talking about real world projects. We will also give you internship opportunity. There will be live lectures, and we will say you how is it that you can create your own first AI project and machine learning project. The total fees of this is 12,000. Okay, apart from it, like what I want to say is like if you register it by tomorrow, right? So then we'll give you 40% discount. Okay, by tomorrow if you register, like we'll give you 40% off in all in any of the program, right? Okay, so here also you will get 40% off. So that means like if you this has 7,000 fees. So if you register by tomorrow, you will get it in around 40 like 4,200. This will be in 4,200, and this will come out to be, if you register by tomorrow, this will be 4,800. Oh, sorry, this is 4,800. Okay, and if you register this by tomorrow, like then it will be 7,200, I guess, right? Right, so this is a special price for only for 1 day, and you can register it, and what you can is like, so if you want to register, you can contact us on our email ID, and this is our email ID, and you can also contact us on our telephone number, right? So this is the telephone number. I hope you guys can see it. Like this is these are the contact details. Like if you are interested in applying, please contact us on our phone number or email ID, and you will get this discount if you register by tomorrow. And this is applicable only for students of Sri Hindu College. Okay, and these will be like very beneficial for you. So because like our instructors are experts, and they are working on top institutions and companies, and they will provide you all the information of it. Okay, so this is a very good information. Okay, and apart, say if you study in one of the courses, there is another program, Super 10 program, which is free of cost, totally free. Okay, and like it has a guaranteed placement, right? So for example, it will, if you be a part of it, you will have a guaranteed placement. Okay, so the people who will take part in this will also have a chance of getting selected for this program, and it is for 6 months. Okay, so it has a highly competitive training process, where we will be having interviews and other things. But if you be a part of any one of our program, and if your performance is found to be good, okay, you will be given direct entry to this program. Okay, and otherwise you can also apply for it, but there is a large interview process. There are 3 rounds of coding, and one technical round, which you need to clarify to get entry into this. Okay, So this is how we are actually working. There are various things, but this guaranteed placement is one thing, and we will train you for 6 months to get this opportunity. Okay. Okay, so you will get direct entry if you have taken like any of our program. Like, so for example, either this crash course or this Python programming or this machine learning based programming. Okay, okay, and if your performance is found to be good, you will be having a direct entry to this. Okay, so your entry will be direct. Maybe I think stay tuned with us for some other time. Like, let me just see. There are queries. I think there are no queries. I can see in the chat box. Maybe Sabya, are you there? Can you send the quiz link here? Okay, let me just see it. Mm. Okay, let me just forward you the quiz link here. Just wait for. Okay, so this is the quiz link. Please attend this quiz. The deadline is for 15 minutes, and then we will close the quiz. You guys want to register in any of our program, please contact us. You can also contact me on my email ID, but you can contact on our company ID, or you can also contact on the phone number 9625 994840. Okay, so if you want to register in any of the program, please contact on this number, and we will give you the registration link and all the queries. 40% discount that we are giving is only applicable for till tomorrow, right? Till Sunday evening, right? Okay, so this is what I can say. If you guys have any query, please, and after that, we will only till Sunday. If you guys have any queries, please ask in the chat box, or you can in the quiz in the please attend the quiz. The quiz attendees will be like will be given e-certificate, and the winners will be AI-Shala swag session, and you can complete the quiz independently. We will close the quiz. So your enrollment ID is your roll number. So see you guys. If you have any query, contact us on this number, and we will rectify your queries. So the price for the winners is Aisha goodies. We will send it to Professor Mugundan. Okay, guys, stay tuned. We will see you again in one of our next workshop or next session. Okay, bye.